Hello YouTube, this is my second wooden train layout and collection video. I decided to refilm my other one because, well, the other one I did not have my full collection out. And I've also reacquired several items and, just acquired new items and added more stuff to the layout just to make it better. So we're going to start at the Roundhouse again. So here we have a GS4. Well, kind of looks like a Southern Pacific GS4, although it's kind of small. Got a Pennsylvania torpedo engine and matching tender. Well, it doesn't match, it just says Pennsylvania on it, but it's not the same color or size, really. We have the President Washington battery-powered engine, a B&O switching engine, this Whittle Shortline 97 engine, and then a Whittle Shortline Missouri Pacific prototype engine. On the other side, we have a Chicago Metro F40PH, a passenger F unit for pulling passenger trains, a Gulfmobile Ohio GP38, and also inside this shed we have this Santa Fe F unit and this Kansas City Southern General Electric Evolution series. So there's the Roundhouse again. We're going to move on to the main line where we have a Conrail freight train. It's a Conrail Caboose, various other cars. It's a SEPTA regional rail train next to it, being pulled by a Conrail C44 CW and GP38. In this harbor area, we have this vintage tin, battleship thingy, this small boat. And we have this random Imaginarium train in there because, well, I think it looks nice, it looks American, it fits, it kind of makes sense. We're going to move into the yard over here. Here we have this battery-powered Arctic Express engine and Great Railway Express tender. Then in here we have this engine that kind of looks like a Norfolk and Western J-Class, like it kind of looks like 611. You can, kind of tell that they based it off of it, but it's not too accurate. Then we have this, Lionel made this in recent years, this kinda looks like a Hudson. It's supposed to be a Hudson engine, like a New York Central Hudson, but they didn't paint the bottom part, so it looks goofy. So I got a tender for it that also looks a bit wonky. But I got it anyway because it's a Hudson. There's that. There's that engine again. Move back a bit. You can see that there's a CSX GP38, Norfolk Southern GP38, some Melissa and Doug container cars, and their respective cabooses, Norfolk Southern and CSX. We also got various trucks and other vehicles back here, including this Whittle Shortline FedEx truck, which is kind of rare. As well as these truck trailers made by the same company, as well as water tanks and other vehicles. So we move out of the harbor area, we cross under this red bridge, which we'll get back to later, and the tracks switch. On this line we have a steam freight train with this rare Southern Serves the South boxcar, and it's being pulled by this Norfolk and Western 611 wooden train. I think it's okay, but the cab looks terrible, and the tender does a little bit too, but it looks nice. So we have that pulling a wooden freight train through this area. We move around the corner over here, we have a wooden Rio Grande freight train where we have the Caboose, the very rare Durango and Silverton boxcar. I also recently acquired this Rio Grande boxcar, this Rio Grande refrigerator car. We have the cattle car, and then we have the GP38 at the front. As we cross over the bridge, we have this Santa Fe freight train. It's the Santa Fe Caboose, Dax tank car, this rare Frisco hopper, and various other Santa Fe cars until we get to the front, which is being double-headed by a war bonnet engine and a yellow bonnet engine. Those two are pulling it. When we reach here, we have a Santa Fe passenger train. I didn't use these previously, but these are these Melissa and Doug somewhat Santa Fe-like passenger cars that I like, and they just fit in well. Being pulled by the Lionel battery-powered Santa Fe engine. So they look great. Over here we have a switch. Along that line we have a rare Whittle Shortline red and silver steam engine, the Whittle Shortline Boxcar, the 911 Memorial Boxcar, and then we have this Santa Boxcar from 2004. Going back to the Red Bridge crossover area, we have a Whittle Shortline passenger train, or a Streamliner, being headed by this John Henry F40PH diesel engine. As we cross the wooden drawbridge, we'll make it towards this junction area here, where we have this Milwaukee Road looking engine. Like, you can tell they based it off of the Streamlined F7 steam engine, but it's on an F7 diesel engine, so that's confusing. We also have this Baltimore and Ohio F unit out pulling a passenger train with these matching coaches, which are in Baltimore and Ohio colors, but unfortunately I could not find the Baltimore and Ohio dome car that matches. It's basically this one right here, but blue. So I had to put in this random coach in the circle lines when it doesn't look the best. Going underneath this Hellgate Bridge and back around over to another Hellgate Bridge, made by a different brand, leads back, and we have this Streamlined passenger train, which I think looks rather nice. This kind of looks like a Chicago Northwestern E4 Streamlined Hudson, in my opinion, but like different colored, where it has a couple of Streamlined passenger cars, including this weird double-ended observation dome. If we continue straight at the junction, we'll go over these two bridges and over the drawbridge where we have Rio Grande passenger train. I have no idea what Com Express Caboose means. I have a battery-powered Rio Grande engine pulling it. And then if we take the left track, which leads up and around, we have these two Lionel Great Railway Adventures baggage cars, Union Pacific Caboose, and this gold Brio engine, and we follow that around, and it goes to this absolutely massive container train where we have a couple of these container cars, which eventually lead to tractors, an open gondola, closed hopper. Then we keep going up until we reach the very top, which goes over itself, and we have these two Norfolk Southern Sonic bonnet engines, which I think are nice. I like the paint scheme, even though I don't like the Sonic the Hedgehog games that much. Go down and around again. Got some John Deere equipment in here, because John Deere's great. And here we have the Lionel Great Railway Adventures Caboose Boxcar. We have this other Boxcar, and then we have the Pacific Fruit Express car, State of Maine one, this Baltimore and Ohio one, this Great Northern one. Then we have the Whittle Shortline flat car, which I decided to put a tank on because I think that's neat. I have this Brio car, and then at the front we have a Union Pacific big boy. It's not that big. Like, if you put it next to like any other train on this, it looks kind of small, but it works with this Whittle Shortline tender, which matches it perfectly in terms of scale. Then here, if we go down, we'll come up to this Amtrak train where we have a, what is this? Material handling car, another material handling car, and then we have these two newer Viewliner cars, which I think look great. Got a Viewliner dining car and sleeper. Then we have a what's called a heritage baggage car from like before Amtrak, when Amtrak received equipment from other railroads. They just repainted them to Amtrak colors. And we're going to move around. Got an Amtrak F40PH, which is pulling these passenger and mail cars, I guess. And we also have the very rare, this is from the last one, of course, the wooden Amtrak station made by Whittle Short Line, which I got for only $20. What a deal. So we have one Amtrak train there in like the, I don't know, phase 2 or 3 Amtrak scheme. All the cars are meant to match that paint scheme. From the back all the way to the front. On this track we have a, I don't know, phase 5 Amtrak train where we have a P42, a Viewliner baggage, and transition sleeper, sleeping car, dining car, observation car, normal coach, which leads back over there. And with the normal modern Amtrak station next to the older Amtrak station. We also have this Amtrak sign, which I think looks great. Also came with it was this crossing signal, but because they decided to be jerks, they didn't include another one, so there's like only one at a crossing, which is goofy as heck. Why'd they do that? I don't understand that. One thing that's really new is this wooden Amtrak Excella set, which I think it's kind of small, but it's great. It's pretty neat. You have the power car, some kind of, I don't know, first class or business class car, the dining car, and then some other car at the back. And they have another power car. I think this set's pretty good. I'm gonna put it back up there. Going over the Hellgate Bridge like the real train would. There's that area. I'm just gonna get another shot of this area because I think it's nice. Follow this track back there. And before we go back there, we're gonna see what's on the shelf. We have these two new and box wooden trains. This one's a little short line green steam engine. It's in John Deere colors, which is what I like. I can't find a matching tender for it. I can't find any similar pictures online of this engine, so I don't know much about it. I also have this 382 Casey Jones tender. I wish I had the matching engine, but I don't. It's rare, so I can't find it. So now we're back to a lower level, not on the shelf there. So we have a Burlington Northern freight train behind it. If we move around, we come to this town area. These buildings here are not mine. I'm just borrowing them for this video, I guess. Like, one of my friends moved, and we're currently having some of his stuff stored here, so he allowed me to use it for this video. We have this Brio Station. Like, all the scenery here, except for these 2 cars, or 3 cars, like, those aren't mine. The cars are mine, but the buildings aren't, and so are the shrubs on this section. So, got a couple houses, trees, shrubs, light poles, and we have this Brio Station, which looks kind of goofy. We have a metro train picking up no one because there's no people. At the front of this, we have an MP36 diesel engine, which I think it's pretty neat, but it looks a little off. But you can't get an MP36 in O gauge, and if you want one in HO, it costs like $500, and I'm not paying that much for an HO engine. That's ridiculous. So I have this wooden one, which I think is pretty neat. If we follow the track around again, we go to the Chicago Northwestern train, which has a Chicago Northwestern Caboose. This Streamlined boxcar, this Golden West Service boxcar, this EJ&E boxcar. And then behind that we have the Rock Island boxcar. Oh no, not again. Don't disrupt this. We have a Rock Island boxcar, Rock Island hopper, it's Illinois Central hopper. That's not a boxcar, that's a hopper. Then we have this Chicago Northwestern engine, Chicago Northwestern GP38, and leading it is a Chicago Northwestern, how do I say this? General Electric Evolution, I don't know. Anyway, I'm running out of time, so I'm going to have to make this a 2-parter.